What's up, everybody? This is A Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening, and today we will be discussing Moon conjunct Venus in the natal birth chart. So, first, we're going to break down what the moon is all about. So, the moon has to do with your emotions, how you feel on the most deepest level. It does represent your mother and the way that she raised you early on in childhood and the way that you perceived her to have raised you and nurtured you and cared for you. The moon also has to do with the fourth house in the natal birth chart. Okay, so it does have to do with your past life, it has to do with your ancestors, it has to do with things that went on in the actual home when you were a child. Okay, things that went on and took place in the home dynamic. It also does show the way that you will be a nurturer, the way that you will care, the way that you will express your emotions. So now when it comes down to the moon is also linked to your instincts. All right, and it has to do with your mind. So a lot of people are not going to know your moon sign by just meeting you. It's going to have to be a bond or somebody that you feel like you can connect with, somebody that you feel like you can open up to. Okay, a lot of times when the moon is involved, you can have an absolute wall up and it can be hard to get to. So now when it comes to Venus, Venus is the planet of love and beauty, creativity. It has to do with peace, harmony, and it has to do with tranquility. It also has to do with luxury and the way that you want to spend your money, what you want to spend your money on, what you value, your possessions. Venus is about your love nature. And in a woman's chart, Venus does show her absolute love nature and the way that she will give love. And in a man's chart, it's going to show what he is most attracted to in a woman. So now the conjunction. The conjunction in between two planets is going to mean that these two planets are in the same exact sign. So at times it's going to be balanced, but at times it's going to be off balance. Okay, sometimes it's going to be a conflict going on here, especially when you're dealing with the themes of this aspect. Now, if you have a square in between these two planets, that is going to mean that they're in signs that do not get along. They don't mesh very well. So it's going to be a conflict. And if you see an opposition in between these two planets, that's going to mean that these planets are in opposite signs of one another. So they are not seeing eye to eye, and it is a conflict also. So the conjunction, the square, and the opposition are very similar in nature. Okay, it has the same things. The same things are going on all the damn time. A lot of times people ask me to do a conjunction when I already did a square. Okay, and it's the same thing. All right, it's the same thing. So now if you have a sectle or a trine in between these two planets, that is going to mean that in your past life, you already mastered this aspect in your life. You did very well. So now you come into this life with the sectle and the trine. And that means that if you had the sectle and trine, that is going to mean that those signs inside of the planet are in signs that get along. They are in harmony. They are at peace and they get along very well. And because of that, you will be blessed in this life with the sectle and the trine, showing that you did master this area and you did very well. However, you still will have these themes going on in your life also, but you'll know how to manage and maneuver in those areas very well. It won't be a struggle, it won't be an issue, and it will not be a difficulty or a conflict for you. So we're going to jump into this right now. Moon conjunct Venus, men and women. So now these men and women are the type of people that have a gentle, kind, caring, and generous and loving, charming, and sweet, charismatic nature. This is what they hold as far as their characteristics and their traits. However, these men and women find it hard to work on a relationship. Now, this is going to go for family, friends, and intimate relationships, even business partnerships. All types of relationships are going to be struggle for these men and women to be able to maintain in their life. Now, what happens is that in their past life, you were surrounded by a lot of luxury, a lot of wealth, and a lot of pleasures. Okay, worldly pleasures. So these men and women could have been famous. They could have had all the money. They could have been surrounded by beauty, beautiful things all the damn time. They could have been recognized for being who they were. They could have been famous. All right, all of these different things. They could have been a king. They could have been a queen. All right, whatever it was, these men and women were surrounded by the luxurious kind of life in their past life. So now, when they come into this life, what ends up going on and taking place is that they feel uncomfortable in unpleasant environments. Okay, this makes them feel uncomfortable if they're somewhere and it's chaotic. It's a bunch of drama. It's a bunch of bullshit going on. This is going to disturb their peace. They're going to feel uncomfortable. And this is where you're going to see these men and women get highly disgusted. This is when you're going to see them feel the need to act out, speak out, say something, and confrontations can go off and start arising. These men and women love music. They love fine dining. They love to go out to eat. They love to go to the movies. They love to go bowling. They love to go to parties. They love to go to bars. They love to enjoy their life. It's something about excitement and a thrill that really gets these men and women going. They love to be surrounded about and around beauty. Anything beautiful, arts, okay, beautiful pictures and things like that, beautiful people. And you will be preferred to be surrounded by positive and fun filled people. So now, relationships can be difficult and full of drama. This is what goes on and takes place in these men and women's lives, okay? Their relationships are going to be full with difficulties and or drama, okay? So now you will be a subjective kind of person opposed to being objective. So these men and women can be overly sensitive to situations, to circumstances, to friendships, family members, intimate relationships, and business dealings. You can be needy, and you can be the type of person that feels like you need love, you want to be loved, you want to feel love at all costs. Okay, so these men and women, they want all these things. They seek these things out, and they are the type of people that are capable of giving love. They love to give love. This is what it is with them. They want to give love. And these men and women are actually the types that don't feel too comfortable when they're not involved with somebody, not in an intimate relationship, a serious committed relationship too. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't function without it, but they do feel a little chaotic and a little off balance when they're not in a serious committed relationship. All right. So now your emotions can overpower your decision making. A lot of times they can get overwhelmed with how they feel to the point that their decision making can be very cloudy at times. Okay. So they do need time to think and regroup. A lot of times with displacement, these men and women will overthink situations, okay? Analyze things down all the way down to a T. Analyze them again, go over it again, pick it apart, put it back together again, and really try to figure out the situation, okay? And that is the very reason sometimes why their decision making can be a little off, because they dig too far into things and possibilities of what could be, okay? So now your partner can feel that they have to watch what they say around you and how they move around you. So your partners can feel like they have to walk on eggshells around you, that they have to tippy toe and watch what they're doing. You can place something inside of them, make them feel a whole different kind of way, where they feel like they're not able to communicate certain things to you anymore the way they once could. These men and women can be extremely moody and edgy at times. Okay, this very thing can affect your relationships also. All right, going into these mood swings from time to time, being very offish and edgy, very snappy. Okay, these men and women can be even very naggy, always nitpicking, always have some shit to say out their mouth, some kind of complaint or things like that. So now this can be difficult for your partner to deal with. You can be self centered and making every damn thing about you. Every situation has to be about you all the damn time. This is what goes on that takes place. Not really taking your partner's feelings into consideration because you're so concerned about how you feel and what you think and how things should be and how things should go and how things need to be ran to the point where your partner feels like you don't give a fuck about how they feel and what they think and how they feel about what they think should go right. So you need to be careful with this placement, okay? I know what I'm talking about. I have this placement. So you need to be careful when you're dealing with this placement because you can be like that. You can take things personally quite often. Okay, a lot of times, these men and women get sensitive to the point that they will be pulled back and withdrawn, and they can actually shut down and not be responsive. Okay, so now this is the crazy part about it because in the beginning of this whole thing, I already said that these men and women are gentle, kind, they are caring, they are generous, they are loving, they are charming, they are sweet, and they are charismatic. Okay, and they have a lot of love to give. But what ends up happening with this aspect is that once they start feeling like the love is not being reciprocated back, these men and women will feel the need to pull back, step away from the situation, and go off. Might even just leave the whole fucking situation and decide that they need to be doing something else, something different. They start feeling like you don't appreciate them, you don't give a damn about them, so they will move on to something else, someone else, a new relationship. This is what these men and women do if you're not giving them the love that they're seeking out. And if you're not loving them the way they want to be loved, they will leave your ass. I'm telling you. So now, these men and women can feel empty inside of a relationship. Okay, and this is the very reason why they will get up and leave. Feeling empty, feeling unloved, feeling like you don't care, you don't appreciate me, you don't care about my views, my feelings, I'll leave. This is what they do. So now you will be constantly thinking about love, beauty, luxury, being creative and artistic. These are going to be the thoughts that are consistently and constantly running through these men and women's heads. You will feel most comfortable in an intimate relationship. You will feel off balance and chaotic when you're not involved in a relationship. Wanting to give love is what you seek out. If you are in a relationship and love is lacking in the relationship, you will feel the need to move on and find that love somewhere else. The moon will begin to suppress the love nature of the of your relationships. Okay, so that's exactly what's going on and what's happening. Because we do have the moon conjunct Venus, okay, and it's going to be similar. What ends up happening is that the moon ends up taking that love nature or that kind, gentle, sweet, um, peace, love, harmony, and all of that charm is now about to get dimmed the fuck down. These men and women are not gonna be playing anymore. These little games, being nice and kind and gentle. No, that shit is going out the window. It ain't gonna be no more kind and gentle nothing. And that's what goes on and takes place. It starts breaking down your relationships over time, and they feel the need to just move on and try something new, try something different because this is no longer useful. There's no more love in here. There's no more caring. There's no more nothing like this. And they'll leave. They will leave. This will be a struggle in all types of relationship dealings that these men and women will encounter. Okay, these are the type of people that if they are friends with somebody and something went on and took place and something else happened, and it's a continuous pattern going on, these are the men and women that will stop fucking with you. They won't even call you no more. They just stop calling you. They stop checking for you. Stop coming around. Don't even ask about you and things like that anymore. These are these men and women because they don't have time for that bullshit. They don't like that drama shit, even though they're consistently being placed into drama. But what these men and women do need to do, they need to learn how to compromise and work on relationships. This is a major learning life lesson for these men and women to be able to conquer and be able to deal with. Deal with the problems that arise. Don't ignore them. Don't reject them, and don't neglect them. But for some reason, these men and women don't feel the need to compromise on a certain level to a certain extent. They pretty much feel like they did the best that they could do. You didn't recognize it. You didn't realize it. Okay. They really feel like they give people chances and people don't realize that they are giving them these chances. They feel like I gave you like 17 chances, and what the fuck you think I'm supposed to do? Give you another one? I gave you 3 chances, or whatever the case may be. You think I'm supposed to keep on going through this? No, I'm not. And that is the thing. But if these men and women just tackled on the situation, let the person know, hey, look, I didn't like that shit, and da 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 da. Now the person knows that you didn't like this and you didn't like that, okay? And now y'all could come to some kind of common ground. But usually that does not happen. It doesn't happen, but this is something that does need to be worked on. Okay? These men and women do have a high sexual appetite and they love to have sex, um, sexual pleasures. This is what these men and women are about. They're about love, beauty, creativity. They're about art. Okay? Anything that has to do with creating things, doing things, going out to eat, having a good time, loving life, living life. Okay, you only get one life. This is how they look at it. Okay, and they want to have sex all the damn time. Now, you will love to have a good time drinking, smoking, eating, dancing, and just partying. These men and women want to be free. They really want to enjoy themselves. Okay, now when obstacles arise in a relationship that are troublesome or even chaotic, this is where you will become distant or want to pull back and remove yourself from a situation. Okay, this also happens in friendships. Okay, and this can be a very difficult aspect to have when it comes to maintaining friendships when problems arise. These men and women know how to cut people off when they're not feeling fucking appreciated. Okay? These are the type of people that you are not going to be able to keep putting demands onto them. Okay? They don't like that shit. Telling them what they should have did or how they could have did something or trying to strategically trying to fucking critique them. They don't like that. All right? They don't like it. So please don't do it. But this is what goes on and takes place with these men and women. And also what is a major thing with this placement is that they really don't know how to deal with situations when they get too out of hand and too chaotic. They are the type of people that can visualize and look at the bigger picture, see that this situation is getting too far out of hand, it's too chaotic. And what it really is they pull themselves away from the situation because they feel like the situation might go even further to the point where they might have to fuck you up, whoop your ass, and things like that, or you might whoop their ass. Or you might they might beat you up so bad that you have to go to jail, or that they have to go to jail, or you might whip their ass and you gotta go to jail. Okay, so they start visualizing all of these different things, all these different scenarios, how heightened their emotions might get, because you know this is an emotional placement. Okay, you're dealing with the emotions when you're dealing with the moon and Venus conjuncting. This is your emotions. And sometimes we know that your emotions is very hard to control. It's very hard to tame. And these men and women try to do this with every breath of their heart, every fucking thing in their soul. They try to control their emotions and stuff. And they try not to even be emotional. All right, they have a hard time dealing with their emotions, even though this is a sensitive sign. But because this is a sensitive placement aspect to have, These men and women, they hold it and they repress it and they try not to deal with it. And then you know what happens? They explode and things go crazy and things go off. Okay, and this is the very thing that they don't want because they don't like drama. But now you know what happens when drama arises? They're ready up. They're ready for the fucking task. They're ready for it. They're ready for the fucking drama, even though they don't want it. So they don't want the drama, but they're ready for the drama. Okay, this is what goes on to take place. But now, when it comes to the loved ones, they do not want to take it to those extremes. They prefer to just leave it alone and just not communicate with you, not call you, not talk to you, leave the relationship, leave the friendship. This is what they prefer to do than to ultimately hate your ass and hate your guts. Whoop your ass, and now y'all not cool again. You ain't never going to speak again because I beat you the fuck up. This is what it is. Now, these men and women, I'm messing up on all my words today. Now, these men and women, you need to learn how to hang in there through the bad times. That is a lesson. These men and women can become extremely wealthy in this lifetime. Your mother can be a major source and factor when it comes down to your income. And you can also inherit a lot of things from her. Okay, so your mother can be the one that leaves something over to you, leaves you money, leaves you a house, leaves you some kind of business, but it's something that's going to come through her. And even if you did not have a mother growing up in your life, okay, maybe it's your grandmother, maybe it's your aunt, it's going to be somebody that was presented in that motherly figure role that is going to be a source of income, always around, a major source for you to be able to rely on financially. Okay, and also an inheritance can come through her. All right, now your mind will be grounded towards and geared towards owning things, having things. Money is always on your mind. Money making ideas will always be flowing through these men and women's minds every single damn day. They want to make sure that they're going to survive. They're going to make sure that they're going to be okay. Okay, they can come up with business ideas. They can come up with how can they have more money? How can they accumulate more money and things like that? So you can be able to enjoy a luxurious luxury life full of excitement. All right. And this is why their minds are geared towards money making ideas so that they will be able to live that life that they want to live. Dress nice, look nice, smell good, go out, eat the foods they like to eat, have the drinks they want to drink, smoke the shit they want to smoke, and have the sex they want to have sex. Okay, have the type of sex that they want to do. All right, this is the shit that they are about. But they do need to learn how to compromise with people. This is a strong thing with this placement, okay? So I'm going to leave this on this note for now. And in future videos to come, I will be going more into depth into this aspect. So please be sure to check out my online store. It is Grimy Gear at grimygear.com. If you need a caterer, be sure to hit me up. I am the chef goddess also. And you can hit me up at supremeroyalcatering@gmail.com. If you need my husband to do any work to your home, swimming pool, or business, you can hit him up at aronnesbit90@gmail.com. So, if anybody needs a birth chart reading for you to fully understand and grasp what is going on, it will be $70 for 2 hours. And if you need a synastry chart, which is a compatibility chart between two individuals, that will be $90 for 2 hours. And if you need a tarot card reading, that will be $30. So this has been a Force of Nature Spiritual Awakening. Love is love. Peace and blessings to you all. And I will see you on the next one.